All right, guys, this is the K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit. Now, unlike a lot of the other smaller and cheap kits that I've tested, K-Pak Survival did not include a fishing kit in their survival kit instead of focusing on other items, which I actually appreciated. However, they do sell separately this very affordable, and I mean cheap, price-wise, K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit. So, this is actually the first survival fishing kit that I've ever tested, like the first standalone one that I've ever tested, which is kind of funny because as a guy that likes survival kits and a guy that likes fishing, you'd think I'd have one already. Instead, usually I carry a dedicated, a small tackle bag in my truck with me pretty much all the time in the spring and summer. So it's going to be interesting to get into this one and see what is in a dedicated survival fishing kit and how it stacks up, and what I think of it as somebody that's interested in survival kits, and also as a fisherman, to see if this might be something that you should consider for only 15 bucks off of Amazon. So that isn't too bad. So you see I haven't torn it open yet. Let's go ahead and get that camera flipped around. We're going to put it down here on the workbench here, and we're going to check it out. So be back with you just in a second from the workbench to get some details on what's in this K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit. All right, this is the K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit. Now, this is exactly how it comes. This is exactly how I pulled it out of the package. You'll see this, it's in this baggie that's sealed. This one, just full transparency, this was sent to me by Kelly at K-Pak Survival. I did not buy this. Just want to make sure that's out there and fully transparent about it before I start getting into it. So that is that part being done. Let's go ahead and get this torn open and see what's in here. Again, like with his other kit, I will appreciate the fact that I can actually get into this easily, right? That I'm not having to rip it apart. Now my big cold hands, which by the way, sorry for the being inside today. Unfortunately, my schedule and Mother Nature haven't synced up this winter yet. So there it is. It's in this tiny little tin, smaller than an Altoids tin. I mean, just for a comparison, here's the nearest thing I have is a Surefire E1E, tiny little light. I mean, that's just what I had handy. This is a tiny little kit. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's in there. From the outset, we have a nice little float. One float. Two floats. Again, very basic, decent little floats. Can't complain there. We do have a little minnow. That's nice. A little fake bait. Okay. That's, again, multi-species, multi-use. Like that's included. We have a spool of line. And I'm going to go ahead and get this baggie open with my big cold hands. And it looks like it's probably about a 10, 12 pound test, I guess. So it's decent line and it's a decent amount. I mean, this spool, it's a decent little spool of line, and you could use this, again, as, you can wrap it around a stick, or you could just use it like this and, wrap it back in around the line. So that's cool. Decent amount of fishing line. You have 4 weights, and I wonder if he tells me what those are. I'm going to say 1 ounce. 4 sinkers, does not say. So that's fine. I mean, they're small little, maybe half an ounce, 1 ounce. Let's see what we got in here too. Oh, we got another minnow, another little really reflective minnow. That's cool. Let's see what else we got. We got a couple hooks, and let's see if we can not injure ourselves. I like this style of hook. This is kind of a nice little go-to multi-species hook, and this is a nice hook. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is a nice quality. Reminds me of like an Owner and an Eagle Claw. Maybe it's a knockoff, but it's a decent hook. It's got a nice little eyelet there, so that's cool. It's a nice little hook. Put that back. And we have in here, what do we have? We have, just a moment, I'll be right back when I can get my hands to work. All right, we're back, my giant hands. We have 2 safety pins. There you go.
which can be useful. And we have a swivel. So what else do we have in here? We got the ubiquitous survival card, which in this instance could actually be kind of useful because these things are sharp. And yeah, there's, for cutting that line or something like that might, I go back and forth on these things, but for this kit, you know, may as well include it in there. And what do we have in here? What are these for? I don't. Throw down in the comments what you think those are. I am failing on it. So we've, oh, okay. So it was, okay, here's the contents. 50 feet of fishing line. We have 2 floaters. We have 4 sinkers. We have two lures. We have a swivel, 2 safety pins. We got, okay, we do have different sizes of hooks in here. Okay, yeah. So we got a big hook, a medium hook, and a small hook. That's really cool. And then supposedly in there, there's an extra small hook. Oh yeah, I can see him in there. Can you see him? It's right there. Little guy's right there. Hi, little fella. It's a small hook. And then we have a survival card. This must be like packaging or something. So this is an interesting little kit that I like that that is tailored toward what you're going to want to catch on something like this. So, you know, so holding something like this, you're obviously not going to want the biggest hook, and you're not going to want to catch northern and muskies, right? I mean, that'd be okay if you're in a survival situation, but I'm going to go ahead and get this all put back in the container, and then I'm going to turn this camera around, and here's I can already tell you what's nice, is that everything fits right back in there. And I am obviously not as organized as I should be, but there you go. That's really nice. So let's go ahead and flip that camera around. Let's get some final thoughts on what I think about the K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit, which again, is only 15 bucks. So keep that in mind as we look at it, and we're gonna flip that camera around.
Okay, so that has been the contents of the K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit. And you see here, designed and packaged in the USA. So what do I think? I think that this thing is 15 bucks. Which I don't know if you can see behind me, but I think there should be in the background still a couple spools of trialing behind me, and that stuff's starting to get expensive by itself. I mean, 15 bucks is what you go out to eat. It's a hamburger these days. I think price-wise, it's very competitive. Again, you're paying somebody to design and package this for you, because if you do have, I mean, I have this stuff all laying around. I could throw it in a tin, right? But if you don't, this is a good little kit if you're going out somewhere. If you're going to regularly be out in places that do have bodies of fresh water that have fish in them, you know, that aren't overfished. Because I don't know, in the past, I've kind of knocked some of those survival kits because I base mine off of 24 to 72 hours. And I just assume because the area I'm in southeastern Nebraska, the main bodies of water are very overfished. So it is very hard to catch fish out there. But if you're, you know, somewhere up north, if you're somewhere rural, if you're regularly going to be out there, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, Canada, etc., something like this is a good little thing to have. And again, it's only 15 bucks, and that's shipped to your door with Prime shipping. By the way, I do have a link in the description down below for it. And it gives you either a kit you can just throw in and use, and you can catch fish with, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is actually, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple things to it. And this is what my additions to this will be, like a couple grubs, you know, like a white one, a yellow one, and then a dark colored one, right? And then, you know, maybe I'll add like a fake worm or something like that. And then maybe I'll add, I don't know, like a tiny little meps. Something like that will really give you a good multi-species, multi-use kit that you could use for, you know, just catching off the line here. Or maybe you could create a trot line with, you know, with the safety pins and what have you. I also probably will swap out, and I probably would if I was designing it, I'd swap out the survival card with either a small pair of tweezers or, you know, forceps, is a really small pair of forceps, or a knife, you know, to have in this little box. And then I got everything right in here that just fits in a pocket. Again, it's 15 bucks. I mean, if you have this stuff already, maybe this will give you an idea for a starting point. If not, maybe this gives you an idea for something that, you know, you might want to have with your kit. So that has been the K-Pak Survival Fishing Kit, and it really, to me, was very interesting to do something a little different today, because again, usually when I see the survival fishing kits, they're part of a bigger kit and they're a compromise. This is something that, again, the size gives you plenty of room to add on to, or you can just use it as is, but you know, I'd probably add on to it, and for that little low starting point. So I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what you would do, what you change. Again, for me, you know, I get a little biased because sometimes I'm locked in and I'm looking back there. You know, I have multiple sizes of tackle bags, and I have a little small one that I keep in my truck. You know, but if you're going to be out walking, this is something that I could drop in a bag and forget that it's there. So that is a nice little thing to have and to be prepared with if you're out in those areas. And again, if you're over 24 to 72 hours, maybe, you know, or maybe you are someone that's going to, you know, need to sustain yourself for a little while. Something good to think about as part of your kit. This has been a totally different one, not just having a survival fishing kit for the first time, but also being indoors. This is only the second or third video I've done indoors. Don't worry, hopefully the next one I will be back outside again when my calendar and Mother Nature decide to sync back up. And my only free times aren't when it's, you know, 20 degrees and windy or snowy or what have you. So anyway, that's been this video for today. I will be back at you again soon. And like I said, the link is down in the description for this. And while you're down in the description, if you would, please consider supporting your local animal or animal rescue or animal shelter with your time, money, or even better, adopting a new best friend. And I love my rescue dogs. They're sitting on the other edge of that door right now, waiting for me to come inside and give me a big hug. And if you don't have your own animal rescue or animal shelter, I've linked some down in the southeastern Nebraska and southeastern Kansas area where I've adopted my pets from, that are wonderful places that would love your help. So, and finally, while you're in the description, if you're not already subscribed, I would absolutely love to have you back. My name is Ben. This is Big Ben's Outdoors, which today is Big Ben's Indoors, but we'll be outside again soon for more kit reviews, shenanigans, and fun kinds of stuff. So I would love to have you back. And if you are going to stay here till the end, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time with more stuff. And I'm fired up. I have so much stuff to show you. I've kind of gone crazy. Okay, so anyway, we'll see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching.